WRCJ Detroit, a listener-supported radio service of Detroit Public Schools and Detroit Public Television. Good morning to you. I'm Dave Wagner, 3 minutes after the hour of 9 o'clock. And the Rackham Symphony Choir is kicking off their 2008-2009 season. And here with their dynamic director, Suzanne Acton, she joins us this morning to talk choral music this morning. Good morning, Suzanne.
Good morning.
This is a great year for the Rackham Symphony Choir, and actually you're going to be celebrating very soon your 60th anniversary.
That's true, next year.
Isn't that something? 60 years ago. Now tell us about the beginnings of the Rackham Symphony Choir. I understand that it was basically a chorus that was put together under the sponsorship of the University of Michigan.
That's right. It started in the University of Michigan in 1949 with Maynard Klein as the choral director, and I believe I'm the 9th.
How about that?
And first female.
How about that? 80 members. Well, it's up about 100 members now, and your membership comes from all corners of the metro area.
Yes, all over the place.
That's great. You got. Now, if people are interested, I want to talk about the season, but I want to talk first about how people can become members of the Rackham Symphony Choir and your audition process. And every year at this time, it's audition time. People have the opportunity to join the choir. So tell us what they need to do.
Well, what they need to do is go onto our website, Rackham Choir.
I have it right up here.
Okay.
There we go. There it is. Look at that. It says join us.
Yes, and you can fill out a form online, or you can call 313-404-0222.
All right, and then they would meet with you and audition
Yes.
with you?
It's really, people get a little nervous about the
Sure.
word audition.
Yeah, that's a big one, isn't it?
Yes, it certainly is. And all they have to do is just come in with a piece. We have an accompanist, and we'll do a little, they'll sing for us. We'll have them sight sing something, which is, we'll have the pianist help them out, and just sort of interview them and see where they're, what they have done previously in terms of singing. And that's it.
Now, when are rehearsals, and tell us a little bit about what is expected from chorus members.
Well, one of the things that we rehearse every Tuesday night from like 7 to 9:30, and they're expected to come to rehearsals every week. And we have like mandatory ones, which are our dress rehearsals that we have, previous to the actual performances. And we are a membership choir, so there are dues that are paid, and we do have scholarships for those that want to sing, but right now don't have the funds. So anyone that wants to sing, I think they should come out and join us.
That sounds great. Your schedule for 2008 is just full of the terrific programs. And the very first one is what? Is it happening this weekend already?
On Friday, 7
something?
o'clock.
How about that?
Yes.
Tell us about the Lexington Bach Festival. This is a series of programs that's really grown over the last couple of years. Now, this is your first year involvement with it.
Yes, it's the first time that we were invited to the Lexington Bach Festival and Friends, and we are the and Friends because we're not doing Bach. What we are going to be doing is an opera concert on Friday night. Great.
An evening of theater favorites, September 12th. That's Friday night. It's in Lexington, Michigan, and it's taking place in one of the local churches of it, St. Dennis Church up on Main Street in Lexington.
Yes.
7 p.m. Friday night. Now, one of your favorites and one program that I know so many people look forward to each and every year, talking about a program that's grown from strength to strength every year, is the Too Hot to Handle program, the Jazz Gospel Messiah. Tell us about that.
Yes, we're doing that during Thanksgiving, November 29th and 30th, and what this is the jazz gospel version of the classical Messiah. And we have drums with Dave Taylor and Alvin Waddles and Marion Hayden, which you wouldn't see in the traditional Messiah. And it's so perfect for your listeners because it's jazz and classical combined together, and it's like a big celebration. Everyone just has
That's
a good
great.
time.
Now, you're going to take this on the road. You're going to Chicago with this.
Yes, we're
year.
going to Chicago.
Is this the first year you've done it?
No, actually, this is the 4th.
Wow. Where have I been? See, I don't get out of town a lot. They keep me locked in this room. So that'll be what, at the Auditorium Theater in Chicago?
Yes, in December.
That's great. Okay, then coming up in February, tell us about the program that's entitled An Affair to Remember.
Okay, well, we have 2 fundraisers this year, and the first one is a masquerade party, and fundraiser. It's at Leon and Lulu's in Clawson, and that's coming up September 20th. And the Affair to Remember is another fundraiser that we have, one of our main ones that's on Valentine's Day. So.
Ah, I got it.
Mhm.
Right. So dining, dancing, the silent auction, and the Rackham Ensemble Singers and
That's
special
right.
guests. I'll be doing that. Now, you have a special program, too, upcoming the weekend of March 6th with the Detroit Symphony Orchestra, and it's a program entitled Dear Mrs. Parks.
Yes, this is a new work by Handel and we were invited by the DSO to join them for Dear Mrs. Parks. And so it's a celebration of Rosa Parks.
Okay, and you'll be giving the world premiere, of that work, right?
No, actually, I think they did it a couple years ago.
Oh, okay, all right.
So they're bringing it back, and we were so thrilled to be invited.
That's coming up the weekend of March 6th through the 8th. It's a program with the Rackham Symphony Choir called Dear Mrs. Park. And then wrapping up the formal season will be a program in April. And tell us about this oratorio by Carl Jenkins called The Armed Man.
Well, it's an interesting work. It's about, let's see, we have a film that we had commissioned to accompany it, and we called it The Armed Boy. So what this is an allegory of war and how we are striving for peace. And so with that, we have the cello Sphinx winner of 2006,
Oh, okay.
Gabriel Cabezas. He's 17 this year. And we have a combination of a soloist, and we have a muezzin, a voice soprano, and it combines a lot of different styles into this one oratorio all about peace.
That's fantastic. You know, I wanted to mention about your outreach program and about tell us about the dragon. You've got you're traveling with a dragon. I like this.
Yes, we have puppets that accompany us, and what this is, it's the John Rutter, The Reluctant Dragon, about a dragon who likes to read poetry, and there's the knight that doesn't want to fight with him, and so they have this little scheme that we're going to fake the fight.
So in other words, the Rackham Symphony Choir, if you want, and anyone's listening to this, they can go to the website and find out how the Rackham Symphony Choir and this program, The Reluctant Dragon, can visit your school, your child's school.
Yes, most definitely. We do visit a lot of schools with this program.
That's nifty. Now, you also do master classes too, right?
Yes, we do master classes, and this year, for the first time, we have our Rackham Symphony Choir high school internship program.
Oh, okay. How does that work?
Well, we have selected by audition 2 singers. In fact, they're from the Detroit School of the Arts here, and they're seniors, and they've never studied voice before. And what we're going to do is provide private voice lessons, have them join our choir so they get the opportunities to sing with orchestra, and mentor them.
That's terrific.
Yes, we're very excited about that.
You know, I think a lot of people think that to be involved in a community chorus, that you know, well, I have to have really lots of experience, and I should have sang with the Met for a couple of seasons, or at least the Chicago Lyric Opera, but vocal music is available really to everyone, and it's something that can add so much enjoyment and pleasure to a person's life. It's just a wonderful experience being in a group like this and sharing music.
Oh, it certainly is, and you know, we have singers from all types of lives, you know, people who have very limited musical skills to those that are actual professionals, and I have to say, choral singing extends your life.
I understand that. I understand that. Actually, choral singing and the process of making music is one of those things. I'm just reading an interesting book by Esther Sternberg about stress and the link now that they understand between stress and illness. And so you do activities like making music, being involved in an ensemble, and you're healthier. And
Oh, yes.
Isn't it amazing?
Yes, I mean, you have, like for us, 2.5 hours of concentrated study, and you really can't think of anything else, and it just puts you in a different level.
I think that's a great idea for people to take a look here at the website. 2 things you can do. You can either become involved by becoming a participant, and of course you can be involved by enjoying the music, by participating in the performances. And there are a lot of them from the Rackham Symphony Choir, beginning This weekend, an evening of theater favorites up in Lexington. That's Friday night. The Too Hot to Handle series at the Detroit Opera House. Then their fundraiser in February, and a fair to remember, their performance with the Detroit Symphony Orchestra in March, and their Concert for Peace, The Armed Man, in April. So check out their website. It's rackhamchoir.org, and all the information is there about contacting the Rackham Symphony Choir and being involved. And the telephone number, I guess it's what it's on our
It's 313-404-0222.
I knew that would be at your fingertips.
You bet.
313-404-0222. Susan Acton, thanks so much. Good seeing you this
Good
morning.
to see you.
And look forward to so many great performances this season from the Rackham Symphony Choir.
Thank you.
WRCJ